Now, first off, on the agenda today, we have Fausto Pugliese from Cyber Trading University. Now, an esteemed day trader, in fact, one of the first leading day traders in the industry, Fausto has spent much of his trading career in the trenches with some of the most successful trading names the world has ever known. Now, you probably have heard his name from his book, How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game, Uncovering the Mysteries of Level 2. Now, without further ado, let me introduce to you Fausto Pugliese from Cyber Trading University. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to him right now. Okay, go ahead, take it away, Fausto.
William, thank you very much for that great intro. Let me just do a quick audio check and a visual. Can everyone see my slideshow presentation up on the screen? Steve, good, thank you. Laura, Dave, Jose, good. All right, excellent. Well, once again, great event. I know that it is the summertime, and you know, this is pretty much the slow time of the year when it comes to trading. But you know what? I tell everyone, regardless how slow it is, it's the best time to learn, because the best time to trade is September, October, November, when summer's over, kids go back to school, and you don't want to be learning at the best times of the market, because that's where you want to be ready to trade in the times of the market. So I'm going to teach you some good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, some new content. For some of you here that probably listened to me before, I'm going to talk about emotions and talk about high-frequency trades. And then I'm also going to talk exclusively about market maker traps, which is something that a lot of you are getting suckered into, and you need to be aware of it because it is existent out there. So let me just change the slide here, ladies and gentlemen. And hold on a second. There we go. Just a quick disclaimer from our compliance department at Cyber Trading University. Just remember, there's a very high risk in trading, and past results are not indicative of the future. So please keep in mind that here, Cyber Trading University and its affiliates are not going to be responsible for any of your trading, yada, yada, yada. To read more about it, feel free to visit our website. Now, a couple of things we're going to learn. We're going to talk about how online brokers make money off you. We're going to talk about discipline, journaling, what is high-frequency trades. We're going to talk about the KISS method for charting. KISS means keep it super simple, where some of you are getting way involved in charts. We'll talk about stocks we've traded and so much more. So we got a lot to cover. Now I got about 45 minutes. It's going to go very fast. So hopefully everybody has a pen and paper to take some very good notes, because what you're about to learn is going to teach you why 90%, it used to be like 70, 80, but from there was a new survey that went out, 90% people fail in trading. Why? Because they were never taught how to do it. So hopefully, well, the first step right away is you're not going to be 90% because you guys are here, and that's the best part of it. All right, so just a quick little intro. I don't want to bore you with an intro, but you know what? Everybody here needs to understand that we all need mentors, okay? And it's almost extremely impossible to be successful in trading by being self-taught. Now, I know there's some of you out there that, you know, learn on your own, but let me tell you, I am not giving you my money, okay? And don't take it in the wrong way. Listen, would you give your money to a financial planner or a trader or mutual fund that never learned finance? Well, what do you think you're doing? And guess what? I was one of those hypocrites when I first started. Now, what you're seeing there in the Forbes magazine, a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street, that's actually was a colleague of mine that I used to trade with. Fortunate, lucky for him, he got on the front page of Forbes. But I am one of the original SOS bandits that started back in 1995. When I started, there was about 1,000 of us. Now there's over 10 million. So you could look at me as being your great-great-grandfather. Now, I'm not that old. I'm only 42. I'm going to be 43 next month, actually. But one thing I've learned is that, and what you're about to learn, and hopefully everybody's going to learn today, is that to be successful in trading, you all need to be educated, and you all need a mentor. So please keep in mind, there are a lot of great speakers today going to be talking, a lot of great things. You're going to learn some great content. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to learn a lot, but you're not going to be ready to trade. okay? And understand everyone that's here. There are investors, because I talk to people all the time and says, Fausto, why should I learn from you, or I already know how to trade. Yeah, listen, we all know how to invest. Just because you've been in the market for 10, 20 years doesn't mean you know how to trade, okay? And that's what you need to understand. So, and that's something I learned very, very quickly. I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders on Wall Street. And let me tell you, what I've learned first day on the job, I should have never, ever made my first trade. And the reason that is that I never knew how to play the game. And what I'm about to teach you, ladies and gentlemen, is how to play the game and what you guys are going up against. So what you're going to learn, and from all the speakers here today, because we all trade about 70% the same. Only about 30% we trade differently because we will trade different markets. But what you're about to learn is that there's a way that you're supposed to trade the market, and if you don't want to learn how to trade it, and it doesn't happen in an hour, a 45-minute presentation. It does happen a few months to learn it. But let me tell you, what you're going to learn is if you do it right and you learn it right, you'll be able to do this as a career for the rest of your life. Now, for some of you who don't know, I'm also a 12-time champion, world champion, actually. I've been all over the world. I beat every single school in the industry. And honestly, I would have been a 25-time champion if I just had some more people that wanted to compete. And the reason why I do the competition, because a lot of people out there are not traders, okay? So one thing I always recommend anybody here, if you're going to learn from somebody that does it and is a professional trader that does it all day long. All right, so let's get right into about how market makers, brokerage firms make money off you. Now, I don't know if you guys realize this, but when it comes to trading, and 95% of you have accounts with these brokerage firms, the Scottrades, the E-Trades, the Schwabs, and you have to understand something. Brokerage firms are in the business to trade against you. Let's just say they're in the casino business, okay? Basically what they're doing is they're taking your order and they're trading against you. Here, let's just follow my little dot over here. This is your order. And what you're doing is you're sending an email to a brokerage firm. And what they're doing is two things. They're going to sell it to another brokerage firm and get paid for it, something called, and could you all write this down, please? Everybody got a pen? Write this down. Payment for order flow. By the way, does anybody know what that means? Just give me a yes or a no. Anybody know what payment for order flow means? Anybody? Two people out of... No. Okay, wow. John knows, okay. Mike, Bill, a lot of you don't know. Okay, well, let me just tell you something. It's about 90% of where brokerage firms make money, okay. Some of you probably have this illusion that, that brokerage firms only make $7 a ticket, $10 a ticket. Let me tell you, if they depended on that, they'll be bankrupt by the end of the day. The way they make money is what I'm showing you right now. This is the real truth. They take your order, they sell it to another brokerage firm, or it goes to their market makers. From there, it runs through an order routing system. The firm is going to trade within their inventory. Anyone ever heard of dark pools? Anyone ever heard of dark pool? Basically, these are the dark pools right here. If they don't have it within their dark pool, then it goes to the trading desk. From the trading desk, they're going to buy it on the bid, sell to you on the offer, and the order gets executed. Now, when you think about it, it's like, my God, that takes a long time to do that. Well, that's why they come out and tell you that you're getting a great deal with these ticket charges. But meanwhile, all they're doing is they're trading against you. Okay, that's how they make their money. Once again, like I told you earlier, if you really think that they're depending on making money on your trades, like making $7, $10 a ticket, you're in the wrong business. Okay? Now, you probably figured it out already that you place an order, and when you place an order, the order's going out there, you're waiting, you're getting emails, and you're probably getting sick and tired of that. Like, why do you need them for? You could do it yourself, right? Well, that's where sometimes you have to take matters in your own hands, okay? Because how many times have you placed an order out there and you hit cancel, you end up getting executed, or you go out there and, You're waiting for them. You're calling. You're going through an automation phone system. Listen, I've been there. I've done that. So how do you become a better trader? Well, the first thing you need to do, the very first thing everybody needs to do, is get what's called a direct access to the markets. And there are certain brokerage firms out there that offer it. Now, if you don't know if your brokerage firm is direct access, well, I'm going to give you my personal email at the end of the presentation. You can call and ask them, or I'll tell you the truth or where to find them. Okay? Basically, this is a simple way of explaining it. There are public, think of driving a car. Okay? You have public transportation, and you have people, and you drive your car. I know everyone here loves driving their car. Nobody's to surrender their driver's license. Well, this is basically driving your own car. Direct access is like driving your own car. If you like dealing with public transportation, hey, it's great if you live in the city, but it sure doesn't work if you live in the country. Okay? We're not going to try to explain that to a pregnant woman. Oh, honey, I don't want to buy a car because I was trying to save some money, you know, so we're going to have to wait for the bus tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's not what you want. You have the technology, you have the access now, so why don't you use it? Well, you know why you're not using it? Because you were never taught how to use it. And that's why everyone is here. You want to learn how to use it. Now, just to let you know right off the bat, 50% of the people fail just by opening up a brokerage account because they want to go out there, they want to try it, and listen, I hope I don't insult anybody, but you're probably one of them, right? You're like, yeah, I'm one of those guys. I know, Fausto, you're right. I went out there, I tried it out. I want to see if I like it or if I can even do it successfully. Well, it's okay. You're here now, all right? So we're going to try to fix that, and that's why MTI is running these great events. Listen to these speakers. Now, let's talk about some trading, right? Well, half the people fail just by opening up a brokerage account, and 90% of people fail because they open up with the wrong brokerage account. Well, now we squash that, and now hopefully you know if you're part of that. Now let's talk about why the other half fail. Now, I don't like to brag about, oh, I traded this, I traded that, I would look at this stock, and listen, if we were all making money, we wouldn't be here. Okay, the thing is what we need to learn is how to control losses. So let's talk about, and let's have some fun, let's talk about charts, okay? Does everyone see this chart really quick? Everybody see this chart? Everyone know how to read it? Okay. All right, so let's look at this chart really quick. All right, now we could see the stock, basically, this chart, you can see how the stock went up, hit a resistance, and came down, okay? Now the stock hit a support level, it went back up. Now, what is supposed to happen right here when the stock goes up? Looking at, with the minimum amount of data that we have, what do you think the stock's supposed to do? It should go up, right? Should break out from the chart. Everyone agree? Listen, no one's going to make fun of you. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. Okay? All right. And just out of curiosity, guys, what makes stocks go up and go down? Can everybody answer that question? What drives these things up or down? Supply and demand, okay? Now, all of us are looking at this chart. Now, do you see supply and demand out there? See, a lot of you say it's going up. Some of you say it's going down. Okay, well, first of all, I don't see supply and demand here. One thing I can see is that if I draw a trend line right here, from the minimum amount of data that I see, that's resistance. So, I'm sorry. That's a resistance, so that's probably a resistance, right? So it's probably going to go down, looking from what we could see so far. All right, well, let's change the slide here. Now, here's our chart. Oh, I got to fix my colors here. There we go. Okay. Now, most people will look at this and says, oh, that was resistance, it came down. Now we're back to resistance, and the stock will probably go down. Well, we don't see a supply and demand out there, but what we do see is something called high-frequency trades. All right? So here are the buyers, and here are the sellers. By the way, when you guys trade, do you see buyers and sellers? Do you guys see buyers and sellers? Okay. Well, John is the only one. Retailers only, I don't know what that means. Dave says no. Mike says no. Lori says I'm a student, so yes. Well, it's good to see you, Lori. Thanks for coming and joining us and supporting us. Peter, yes. If you have them, that's a yes, you do. Okay. But I'm getting a lot of no's. Steve says because of CTU, yes. Thanks for sharing that, Steve. All right. So anyway, the stock should go down, right? Well, you need buyers for the stock to go up, and you need sellers for the stock to go down. Well, because we're looking at a chart, we're seeing previous history, so we're assuming, in theory, it should go down. Well, we got 2,000 shares to sell and 75,000 share buyers out there to buy. All right? So let's do the math. What do you think the price of the stock's going to do? Go up or go down? It's going to go up. It's going to absolutely go up. Okay? So there you see orders. Salvia, your question that you're asking is a benefit for you. Let me ask you a question. Salvia's question says 98% is canceled in 25 microseconds, but of HFTs. Okay, so why are you in the trading business? If you really believe that, and you believe that you're in a disadvantage, why are you even trading in the market? Why are you even putting? What are you trading for? Maybe you should go and open up a delicatessen or a restaurant. You're in the wrong business. Okay, but when I can tell you this, you're absolutely wrong. Okay, you're absolutely 100% wrong, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is who told you that? Who actually showed you that? You know, did you learn? Did a market maker teach you? You know, these are the things you have to ask yourself. And I can tell you this, you become one of my students, and at the end of this presentation, you become one of my trial members. That's guaranteed. I'll show everything you think was 110% wrong. But you have to wait to the end of the presentation to figure that out. Okay. So here we have another example. Let me get my crayon here. Okay. Stock goes up, stock goes down. Stock goes up, stock goes down. Okay. So you can see we got resistance levels here at 1620, support levels here at 1608. Well, right now, that's the past. This is the future. Okay? This is what we have out there now. And this is what the price is now. And for that, we don't have any buyers. So if we have no buyers, like we probably had earlier, if we have no buyers, what do you think the price of the stock's going to do, everyone? Go up or down? It's going to go down. Do you see that on the chart, ladies and gentlemen? No, you don't, right? So basically, Trading 101, just for a lot of you here, one thing I teach right off the bat, whenever if I ever get the opportunity, if you guys ever really want to learn how to really trade in the market, the first thing I train everyone what to do is obviously finding the right brokerage account. Now, every single one of you are a case-by-case basis. Different parts of the world, different rules, different regulations, different trading styles. You might be interested in different markets. That is rule number one. And I can tell you this, 90% of you have the wrong brokerage account. Okay? You just, that's number one. Number two, let's talk about what we talked about right now. Now, half the people fail in trading because they don't know how to play the game. And the first game of playing is understanding supply and demand. And if you don't see supply and demand, well, Well, guess what? You're trading blind. Now, would you give your money to an investor that's trading blind and just because he's a good talker and because he's got a great website or has a name or a great commercial? Okay? That doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I've seen great infomercials too out there. They spend millions and millions of dollars. Doesn't mean they know what they're doing. All right? So the thing is, the other half of you are going to, I hate to say you, what I meant by is most people that are not here or not willing to learn are going to fail just on that. Now, let's talk about something called the 3 T's: tradable, trend, and trap. There's something I teach my students that I was trained by my mentors here in New York, my fellow market makers, that you guys compete against every day. They told me, says, Fausto, there's 3 things you got to learn: tradable, trend, and trap. Okay? Tradable means spread. Okay, what am I risking going into the trade? And I'm not talking about ticket charges. Okay? Oh, about brokerage firms, let me tell you something else. You guys listening carefully? This is the other reason why people fail in trading. Okay? Some of you are paying $7, $10 a ticket, $15 a ticket. You know what I pay? $1 a ticket. Now, most of you are going to be like, wait, whoa, just had a light bulb. Wait, did Fausto say $1? $1? $1 a ticket? How the hell does he pay $1 a ticket? You know why? Because no one ever told you where to look. You found it on your own. Now, that's mistake number 1. Imagine you're paying $1 a ticket. Now, think about this. Now, finding, and that's the least of your problems. You know what the most expensive part of the trade is? The spread. The spread's the most expensive. Ticket charges is the cheapest part. It's like buying gas for the car. Okay? The thing is finding those stocks and making money. I never look at what my costs are, platforms, execution system. Now you got to find out if they're tradable. Can you get in? Can you get out? Are there buyers? Are there sellers? You know, what is the trend? Are the market makers buying it and selling it? And then most importantly, one of the hardest things that most of you probably don't even know is the trap. What is a trap? Well, let me just kind of refresh you on one of the traps that they go over. One of the trap, says you must have huge capital. No, absolutely not. That is a total misconception. Don't ever think of that. Okay? Now, let's talk about refreshing. Have any of you guys ever go out there and buy a stock, and as soon as you buy it, the thing goes down, and as soon as you sell it, it goes up, and you're like scratching your head. You're like, how is that possible? I mean, I don't understand. It's like they're watching you. Ever happened to you? Randy says all the time. Well, he's laughing out loud on it. Well, the thing is this. When it comes to trading, you need to know who's buying it and who's selling it. Think about it. Who controls most of the market? Who could actually influence the movement of the market? Brokerage firms. Think about it. When you trade in the market, do you know who the dominating brokerage firm is? Do you know where Goldman Sachs is, Smith Barney? Are you familiar if you see MLCO and knowing that's Merrill Lynch? Do you see them actually going out there and selling 100 shares, but really they're selling 10,000? It's called refreshing. Something that we were trained. Think about it. It's a very popular word in the trading community. I don't know how many of you here really know that word, but it's where market makers will go out there and they'll say they want to sell 100, but they'll just keep selling you more and more and more and more. You have to understand something. The way they're going to get, there's a winner and there's a loser, okay? And the thing is, brokerage firms are not in the losing business. They're in the winning business. And you have to understand something. When they trade, they have to, if they want to sell something, think about it. I'm going to ask all of you guys a question. If you need to sell something, how are you going to get people to buy it? What do you need to do? Think about it for a second. You got a lot of shares. You got one of your biggest mutual funds. They want to sell everything. Well, guess what? That's your job. How are you going to sell it? Little at a time, Dennis is saying. There you go. Randy's one of the students, one of my students. Thanks a lot, Randy. You have to show strength. You got to show demand. So you have to understand something. Brokerage firms play both sides. They'll be on the bid and they'll be on the offer. They'll route orders through ECNs, which are electronic communication networks, which, by the way, is something that you guys could use with your brokerage firm. I don't know if you know that. You need to know how to play the game. You don't want to get caught in all this updates and this refreshing stuff. They'll go out there and, and another thing with platforms, 80% of what they offer, you don't even need it. It's overkill. And the 60% of the stuff you do need, you don't even have it up on your window. Okay? So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of questions coming across here. That's right. Do they hide orders? They absolutely do, and you better see where they hide them. They'll hide it through another market maker. They'll hide it through an ECN, another ECN, Archipelago, NASDAQ. They're maybe a different brokerage firm. Remember, they are in the business to make money. And understand something. You and I, if you think for a second that, if you want to do this, and all of you should do this. This is the greatest job in the world, by the way. But a lot of you don't know how to play the game. You don't know how to see it. Remember, we are the ants on the floor. We're just trying to get the crumbs, okay? But my mentors always taught me, says, Fausto, that data that I'm trying to scare you is available to you. You could see all that data, and a lot of you are not using it. Why? Because no one ever trained you how to look at it. So you need to know how to play the game, know how to see that there are buyers out there, and why does the thing keep going down? Look at all these buyers out there, 810, 810, 810, the 10,000, 5,000, 3,000, all these buyers. But why does the stock keep going down with all those buyers out there? Because you're getting caught in what's called a trap, a reverse psychology. Look at it. Look at the time. Now we're at 1544. Now we're 802. Still a lot of buyers, no sellers. What the hell is going on? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you have been caught in a situation like that? You buy a stock, you think it's going up, you become like a bunch of those buyers, and the thing goes down. Again, a bunch of people say, hey, all the time. And you know what? That's okay, because that's why you're here. You're here to know that you have to learn how to do this. Okay, so that's right. And Randy, one of my students, coming in there, he goes, "That's why the 30-second rule comes in." That's right, absolutely. And that's a theory that that's something that we teach you at Cyber Trade University, which is how to get in and out. Now I got about 10 minutes. My God, time is flying. 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to go through this. I'm only halfway through my slides, so they're going to go a little quicker now. So anyway. Who loves trading? What's not to like about trading? Well, trading is a part-time job. 90% of your time is spent on education. If you guys are spending more than 10% trading and you're not spending 90% of your time of training, of learning how to trade, you're spending more time than you have to. Think about it. Anybody follow sports? Anyone here a sport fan? Golf, football, baseball, basketball, okay? What do you think they spend more time, playing games or practicing? Formula One, there you go. I'm a big fan of Formula One. But the point is, a professional athlete, where do you think they spend more time, playing games or practicing? So think about it. What are you doing? Are you spending more time between 9 to 5 trading? Are you trading all day? Because you are, you're wasting too much time. Trading is a part-time job. Look at this example right here, VTIS. Stock goes from 270 in less than 30 minutes to 320. Not bad. I'll take almost 60 cents. 1,000 shares, $600. What is that, 100,000 a year? Here's another one. FXCN. Right at the open, 9:30 was for 490 to 590 up a buck. swing trade, it went from 3 to 6 in a week. You know, I mean, what's wrong with that trade? Anything wrong with that? I'll take it. What does the company do? Do you really care? Or are you here to make money? Here's another one, ISR. $1.90 to 260. I mean, listen, there are a lot of stocks out there that make big, big moves in the market. Okay? You know, so the thing is, trading is a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. So, charts. Who here knows how to read charts? John, finding them is easy. Finding which one that's going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward, John, is where you need the education. Finding them is the easiest thing in the world, okay? Charts. Okay, we got a Bollinger Band, volume, stochastic, a pivot point. Can anybody read these charts right here? What we got going on? Anybody's charts look like this? People say it's gross. You know, it looks like my kids' my 4-year-old, 5-year-old's school project. But there are people that actually read this stuff. And you know what? Charts are always right. And no matter who teaches you, they're going to explain to you, and they're going to make perfect sense. But the thing is this. Are you ending up like him? Because sometimes I sit there and scratch my head and wonder, are they really kidding me? I mean, they actually have these many indicators, and people actually read them. Well, then what happens, you get technical analysis paralysis. So what we teach here, John says, hey, that's me. That's okay. You're not the only one, John. I'm happy that you admit it because a lot of people can't. Now let's talk about the KISS method. I teach something called the KISS method. Keep it super simple. Okay? So the thing about charts is some of you guys make it more complicated what it is, and you're not focusing on the key things, which is following orders and following market makers. Okay? That's what a lot of you should be doing. Because remember, you can't move markets. They could. All right? They trade about 80 to 90% of the volume. You don't. So if you can't beat them, join them. And that's what took me to learn the hard way. So, KISS method. If you want to see a little bit more about the KISS method, I'm going to invite all of you to come watch me trade live for 2 weeks, and you'll see how simple it can get. Now, one of you mentioned earlier about finding stocks. Finding them are easy, okay? I tweet and text stock symbols. All my students, I don't know if you guys heard about the stock USU. Stock went from 3 to like 12 in like 2 days. I mean, these are stocks that you know, now listen, there's a lot of stocks that I trade. Not all of them work out. But I always tell my students, don't judge me on my winners. Judge me on my losers, how many few I have. You know, but the thing is, the losers, how to control them. Now, there's a lot of stocks that I traded this day, but who knows? Were they good? Were they bad? Listen, we don't know until they open up in the morning. But I could tell you this, we know how to run with our winners and get out of our losers, which is one of the hardest things you guys need to learn. You know, NQ, continue to run up. I was tweeting this thing at 7. I chased it from 640, end up going to 7. Guess what? Even if I tweet at 7, it ran to 760. You know how much money that is? On 1,000 shares, 60 cents? You know, even if you got 20 cents out of it, 20 little stinking little cents, 20 cents on 1,000 shares is $200 a day. Who here doesn't want? Who here doesn't need $200 a day working about 10, 15 minutes a day? Who makes $200 a day working that time frame? Not too many people. What is that? About 50, 60,000 a year? I'll take it. Now, if anybody here wants an article about dark pools, what you can do is you can. I'll give you my personal email address, faustop@ctucorp.com. I always get people that always want to, you know, if you want to read a really good article, just I'll send you one. Just take down my email address, and I'll be able to get it to you. All right, so psychology. Let's get to the psychology part of it. First thing about psychology is you got to understand, trading, this is not investing. This is trading. I actually just spoke to one of my education advisors just told me just yesterday that he spoke to a student, a potential student. He goes, oh, I want to learn how to trade, I don't need any education. I've been trading for about 10 years. I don't need any education, but I want to know what total view is. They're like, well, sir, you're not a trader, you're an investor. Oh, I don't need any education, but I just want to know, what is level 2? Well, right off the bat, you want to trade or do you want to invest? Okay? So the thing is this, you have to understand what the difference is. You need to keep a diary. You need to know how the market works. You need to feel very comfortable when it comes to trading. And the thing is, if you look at this photograph right here, I always tell people the guy in the shadow is me or your mentor, and that's you. You need someone to be on top of you to teach you how to play the game. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your temper and not be focused, and then you're going to get yourself in trouble. You have to understand something. There are great platforms out there. They allow you to paper trade. You need to review your trades. You got to be patient. I'm going to make a guarantee for all of you. Okay? 3 guarantees. You're going to die one day. You're going to pay taxes for the rest of your life, even when you're dead. And the stock market's not going out of business. All right? So the thing is this. I'll tell you this, with today's technology, it is getting easier, better. If you've been watching Wall Street lately on TV, the New York Stock Exchange, there's no traders out there. You don't need them anymore. Everything's electronic. Could you imagine not having a cell phone in today's times? Could you imagine not having a computer and you could only use a telephone to call somebody? My God, God forbid that ever happen, right? Technology today. Well, guess what? At the benefit of that is that you don't need those guys anymore. You could do it yourself. But you need a mentor. You need someone to teach you how to do it. You need someone that needs to show you how to start small, work with 100 shares. You need somebody that's going to show you and be on top of you to trade and learn and know how to get better and progress. Because you're not going to learn it all in one day. Okay? You're not going to learn it in 45 minutes. I usually tell students, if you look at me to mentor you, it's going to take you at least 3 to 6 months. But that's okay. It's a lot faster than going to college for 4 years and still not knowing what you want to do, right? And paying, what, $200,000? By the way, when all of a sudden are all colleges $50,000, $60,000 a year? I guess it must be about all those student loans they're giving out, right? Well, guess what? The great thing about trading and what you're doing right now, no matter what you invest, I just want all of you to know this is in the United States. I don't know about in your other countries, but it is a tax write-off, so that's a great thing. So imagine that. Everyone here, no matter what you spend on training, education, guess what? You can write it off. So that's a great, great feature. And you know what? We're actually doing an event here at Cybertrade University at 4 o'clock at the 4:30. I think after the event's over. If you want to, we're going to be talking about exclusively on taxes. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, that would be a great lesson for you guys to learn. So how to succeed? Okay, well, you need to learn how to analyze your trades. You're going to make mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the faster you're going to learn. You can't go into trading and think you're not going to fail. You're going to fail. It's okay. You can't win. You can't go into trading and think you're going to be right on every one of your trades. If you are, you're never going to make money in trading. So, know what your profit goals are. Daily, weekly, be realistic. Did you ever realize that 50 cents a day on 1,000 shares is 500 a day? There's 20 trading days, 130,000. How many of you here on Social Security or trading your own IRA or just too qualified to go back to work? Guess what? You could stay home, do this in your pajamas, okay? You could do it for the rest of your life. You could spend more time with your family. You could take days off, be with your friends, more time with your family. Do those things that you always wanted to do. Enjoy life, because what's the sense of going out there and getting stressed out, you know, and you know what? I feel bad, and my condolences to all the family members of Robert Williams, one of the greatest actors I probably ever met. I remember watching him as a little kid, but look at that. Who needs that stress? Okay? What did he do? He committed suicide from depression. What do you think? Traders don't? You don't think there's traders out there that did the same thing? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is a very least stress job out there, because it only requires 10% of your time. 90% of your time is spent on education. Go out there, get a mentor, learn how to do it right, and enjoy life in a stress-free environment. So if anybody wants a copy of my slides, here's my personal email address. It's FaustoP@ctucorp.com. Okay? Yeah, John, I know it's very, very sad. But once again, you could have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, what are you going to do? So anyway, the thing about trading, there are people out there. I've been there. I've done that. I don't want to bore you with it, but I know a guy. I don't know him personally, but I remember 15 years ago, there was a big on-site training facility in Atlanta, and the guy was so stressed out, you know, because he was trading and losing everything he had, but he never wanted to learn how to trade. He did it on his own, and I don't know, he gunned down a bunch of people. It's a terrible story, but don't want to really mention that. But the thing is, you shouldn't be stressed out. Trading should be fun, and it should be exciting. Now, so anyway, CyberTrade University, just to let you know, we teach for some of the most popular brokerage firms in the industry. So, and the reason for it, a lot of these brokerage firms want you to get educated. You know what? If you're an educated broker, a client, you'll be a client for theirs for life. Also, for some of you logged in a little late, just to let you know, I'm a 12-time world champion at the World Traders Expo and Money Show. And we're also ranked #1 school by Equities Magazine 6 years in a row. Now, if anybody here wants to join me for a 2-week trial, now a lot of you basically have seen me talking about this trading and so on. Well, I don't know if any of you ever been in a live trading room, but if anybody wants to join me for 2 weeks, because you can't judge somebody by 1 or 2 days. Give me 2 weeks. Let me show you how to see the high-frequency trades. Let me show you how we shadow market makers. And there's no obligation. After 2 weeks, if you don't want to move forward, we're not going to bill you and, you know, hit you for another, you know, $1,000. We don't do that. If I can't impress you in 2 weeks, then you know what? Then go find someone else. But you got to find somebody. So I want all of you guys, if you want to try me out and see what Fausto and why I'm a 12-time champion, come and join me. Don't even listen to me. Listen to my traders. I have traders in my trading room that are making not thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a day. And listen what they're doing. So how do we start learning today and making money? Just go visit us at CyberTrade University right on the homepage of the website. 2-week trial for $29. You can also call us at 877-70-CYBER. And we have many education advisors and instructors. They'll be happy to take your call if you want to learn a little more about it. Now, I know I have about a minute or two. Let me just bring this up really quick. Right here at CyberTrade University, right here on the homepage, just click on that link right there, and that's how you get registered. Okay? And I'll put the link in there for you. A couple of questions coming across here, if anyone has any questions. All right, so Gene, well, Gene, thank you very much for sharing that, but the problem is nobody can read that chat. But I guess when people come and join us, maybe you could tell them. Gene's question says he's been trading over 3 months after, and it's been one of the best investments that he made. Thank you so much for sharing that, Gene. We have about 4 minutes remaining. Okay, so I got a couple of more minutes. I could answer it. Do you also teach futures, Bobby? Yes, we do talk about futures in the trading room. So we talk about stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Is there a charge after the offer? No, there's not. There's no charge after. You talk to an education advisor, you want to move forward with us? Great. My goal is I look at our trading room as basically you're an interview. You're interviewing us. You're looking for a mentor, and you want to see what it's all about and if it's for you or not. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of great speakers today. All right, and every one of you, everybody's going to give you something that you're going to learn from. And I recommend all of you guys should buy a little bit from everybody. Listen, if you really, really, really want to learn how to day trade or learn stocks, then you know what? I don't think you're going to find anybody better than us. And I'm not just being cocky about it. We were ranked #1 for a reason. But maybe trading is not for you. Maybe you want to learn futures or Forex, exclusively Forex. You know, but now you know what's involved in stocks, but it doesn't fit in your schedule, whatever. So you're better off sampling everything from everyone. And then you make the choice and make an investment and have that person train you. But before we go and before we end, I just want to let all of you guys to know, please, I'm begging you, and I'm warning you, do not be one of the self-taught people out there, because there are winners and there are losers. And you know for a fact you would never give your money to anybody that never learned anything about the finance. If you went to a storefront and the guys, and you want to give them their money, and you ask them, you interview them, oh, where'd you learn how to trade? Oh, I'm just learning on the job. Do you feel comfortable giving that guy your money? Well, guess what? You're doing the same thing. And that's why trading is between an 80 to 90% failure rate, and that's why brokerage firms are in the casino business, which I hate to say, because they're taking the bet. They're not even executing your orders. They know you're going to fail. And that's why they're taking the orders and trading against you. And you're going to see that in my trading room. You're going to see how brokerage firms do that. So don't be part of that group. Be the smart person. Go out there, deal with, be an educated person, because this is the greatest job in the world, and it doesn't cost that much money to learn how to do it right. Because the one thing you're going to learn, it's not for everybody. It might not be for you. And any money you invest in any education, you're going to be able to say, hey, you know what? I tried it. I realize it's not for me, and let me go back to my 9-to-5 job and make my, my 100, 200 a day. Steve says, yeah, don't try this at home. Thanks, Steve. All right, so anyway, I'd like to thank MTI for having me.